You are live. Hey friends, it's Quenby, the Grateful Queen, here on YouTube, and it's Friday. So I'll do my party shoulders. I think that's what we called them last time. Because on Fridays on the channel, I do a show called Live at 5, which is 5 p.m. Pacific Coast time. And lots of friends come and join me in the chat. And I turned it into, I'm basically calling it a reseller community night now, because it's an opportunity for us to come together and talk and connect with our reselling community and share about what we're doing in our businesses and in our lives. I used to do a thrift haul, but during stay at home, I'm not thrifting. Maybe some of you are. Let me know in the chat if you have started thrifting. I did a live show a couple weeks ago, just kind of talking about, are you ready to go thrifting now that the stores are open? And there was a real range, you guys, of people that were saying, no way, I'm not ready. And other people that are like, I am so there when the stores open. Has anybody done that yet? I haven't seen videos on YouTube yet of like returning to the thrift stores after quarantine. I'd love to hear from you. What are you up to? Friends, I see you coming into the chat. I can't wait to say hi. I'd love it if you did a little check-in, like what are you working on in your reselling world right now? I have a bunch of things to talk with you all about. And I always bring some things to show you in case we decide we want to look at some stuff. If you're new here, hi and welcome. I'm Quenby, and this is a channel all about reselling online. I'm a part-time reseller. I sell right now on Ebay and Poshmark. What platforms do you sell on? Let us know in the chat. And have you expanded? Because I'm hearing a lot about Mercari lately. It's kind of circling around. And thredup too. So I say right now, those are the platforms I'm selling on, but it may change. Where are you selling and what are you doing that's new and different or the same? Let's say hi to some friends. I see Vandy's Closet is here. Melissa, she's got some really great content on her YouTube channel right now. And Daniela from Ivy and Blush, who was on A Reseller's Passion, Leslie's channel. That was a great show. I was in the supermarket and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 5 o'clock. So I just kind of chimed in real quick. I had to go back and watch the replay. Does that happen to you guys where you're like, oh my gosh, I want to watch, but I'm out? So that was cool. I hope to get Daniela on the channel or her channel to do something. And Foxy Roxy's here. I am happy to join you tonight, she says. What's happening with you? If you're not following Foxy Roxy, I follow her on Instagram as well. And she is training to be a nurse practitioner. So I'm curious how that's going. You actually have a day off. How is that looking for you right now? Bill is here. Hey, Bill. How's it going with the mask making? What else are you guys up to? Oh, you have your fundraiser to tell us about. That's ending soon on Sunday. I'll be sure to be on your channel to see about the resellers helping resellers fundraiser. Definitely check out Bill and Tori's channel at Girly Girl Style or on Instagram to find out more about that. Angela Winning is here. Hello, everyone. She says, hey, Angela, I'm so glad you came back. What are you up to right now? What are you all working on in your businesses? I am working on a lot of different things. I just actually filmed some videos today for the first time. Many of you in our chat right now are also content creators, whether that's here on YouTube or on Instagram, or you have a podcast. So I'm wondering if this happens to you where I'm watching and trying to pay attention to like my creative flow, I guess, because I'll have weeks where it's like, I am on fire. I have so many ideas to make YouTube videos and Instagram posts, and I can't wait to connect and do collaborations. And then there are some weeks like last week where I'm like, I am dry. I do not know what to make content about. I just don't feel it. But I think I'm back on track. I made a couple of videos today with some things I'm working on in my business that I hope might help some of you, and I'd love to get your feedback on it. Lisette is here from New England Betty Boop. Happy Friday, beautiful people. I'm co-hosting tonight's Everything's Kids Party on Poshmark. DM me on Instagram if you have kids' clothes. That is super cool. I have to say, I've been on Poshmark. eBay's really been my main gig, and I've been on Poshmark 2 years. And it's growing, and I put a lot more energy into it recently. So it's like growing. Like in April, I did a video. It's coming out Monday on my sales for the month of April. And for the first time, my Poshmark sales were very close in numbers to my eBay sales. So some things that I'm doing are working on that platform, but I don't even understand how you get to host a party. Could someone tell me? If you know, how do you get to host a party? And I'm glad you're doing a kids clothes one. I am on fire with selling the baby clothes. I don't know if any of you got a chance to see that video I did on selling baby clothes. I'm like stunned, you guys, on how well the baby clothes are selling. I've sold out almost all, not all of them, but like I always make up these statistics. If I did a video, I'd give you real data, but I've sold so many. Like I've sold so many baby lots really quick in the $20 range. So I think that's awesome. Sarah Lee Coleman says, hi, how's everyone today? She's got an awesome Instagram. She does got some really cute vintage stuff. I sold, oh good, Tori's here. Hey Tori from Girly Girl Style. I always love seeing you. Tori, I sold 2 vintage dresses, one on Poshmark, one on eBay. I think it was your advice. It might have been Brittany's, but I was talking with somebody about vintage and I'm like, I don't know too much about what to sell. And you guys were like, well, sell what you like. Like if you see a vintage dress that reminds you of one of your Free People dresses and you like it, sell that. And I'm like, okay, so that's what I did. One of them I got as a free donation. And I don't think the woman meant it as a vintage. Like people are wearing vintage now on purpose as a style choice. I think it was just vintage. It was an older woman and it was a total 90s maxi dress, super long with snaps, oversized, like totally 90s vintage what I was wearing. Oh, yay, Lara's here. A Wee Bit Worn is here. Hola, y'all. She's got an awesome closet. If you on Poshmark, if you like, so I went to her closet. I try to go to people's closet. If you leave it in the chat, I try to go to as many as I can and just share and see what you're selling and what you're doing in your business. And she's got some great stuff I've got my eye on and good sizes there. Lori Richardson's here. Hey, ladies, Seattle Gal Style. I love when you put your other name. Like I follow you on Instagram. We chat over there sometimes, but it's hard to keep track of the name. So I really appreciate when you put it in. It's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. You guys, I'm starting to think like I might need to do another live show because it feels like we did this a million years ago and it was only a week. And I just found around like Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm like, I need to talk to my reselling community and my friends. I need to connect. There are a lot of great live shows. There's one tonight with Lori and Denali at right after this. So we'll be done in time so we can go over there and support those lovely ladies. I'm still not going to thrift stores. Daniela says thrift stores are not open here. In Rhode Island, they're not? God, it's really different everywhere, isn't it? Restyle Secrets is here. Hey, girl, good to see you. I'll do my party shoulders for you. There are not all the name brand Goodwill stores are not open here, but some of the smaller like local stores are open, and I still haven't gone for 2 reasons. And I'd love to hear your reasons and chime in the chat about where you're at with that. Like, are they open? Have you gone? Would you go? What are you thinking around that? I just find it helpful. I like hearing different perspectives. It helps me in my decision making. I think I don't feel quite ready. And also, to be honest with you guys, I have got a lot of inventory right now because I got into a little bit of scarcity. Did anyone else do this? Where it was like, the stores aren't open. I want to keep my business going. I need to get inventory. So I ordered a bunch of stuff from thredup, from their site, and from rescue boxes. And I got free donations from people, and I cleaned out my closet. So I am flush. I have a lot of inventory, but I am right now in my business working on something new and exciting, which is I am relisting all my old inventory. I just made a video about it today. Mind blown on how much inventory I'm selling. That's been sitting there not selling. Stale old inventory, not selling. And now it's selling. So I that's what I'm working on right now. Are you guys doing anything like that? Lily S is here. Hello, so glad you made it again. I really love seeing people that come back each Friday. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. How are you guys doing and what are you working on? Angela Winning says, oops, I got a frozen moment. Hopefully it catches back up. Doing okay. I got a partial layoff notice this week. 3-day weekends until July 25th. More time to resell. So is that, it sounds like from your comment, is that like a good thing for you, or is it stressful? Or I'm also, I normally resell part-time, but during stay-at-home, I'm putting a lot more hours in. I don't know exactly how many, but more. My other job is definitely slowed down. And I have mixed feelings about it. Some days I'm like, oh, okay, like a nice pause, a nice bit of a break. And other days I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about this. I'm self-employed. And Vandy said, Vandy, Melissa from Vandy's Closet said, good way to look at it, Angela. Yeah, more time to resell. It's like, I'm definitely trying to look at it that way too. I am trying to look at it like, okay, my other job is slowed down right now. Hopefully it's temporary. Let me know if any of you other people had anything like that, or people in your family. How are people doing with that? My other job is slowed down, and I'm trying to do things in my business that I normally would not get a chance to do. For instance, this has been really exciting for me. Let me know in the comments if you guys have done any of this kind of like branding stuff or logo stuff. So I shared with you a few weeks ago, I finally got a logo and I got some stuff. It just came. So this is my logo. It looks weird on my screen. I wonder if you guys can see it okay. So it says the Grateful Queen online seller. And so I got some stuff. I'm so curious if any of you guys have done this. I'll probably make a more detailed video about it, but this is the sort of stuff I'm trying to see this time as an opportunity to do things in my business that I've wanted to always do, but maybe can't. So I finally went on Fiverr, which is an online site where they do all sorts of stuff. But one of the things you can do is hire someone pretty inexpensively to do graphic design for you. And so I got a logo for my business, which I've always wanted to do. I've been envious of people that have had them. So I had them design a logo. I told them what I wanted, and they gave me some different options. And then I went on to Vistaprint, and I got some of these cards. This is like a bigger postcard size with my logo. And then I just put my stores on the back, and I left a spot blank so that I could write kind of like thank you notes. So I don't know. I feel like a grown-up. Like I feel very professional with an actual logo and some stuff. And I got little ones too. What do you guys think of that? I mean, I don't know. I'm just excited about it. Let's see. I think some other people have come in, so I definitely want to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Lori Owens is here. I made my first sale on Kitizen today. What did you sell, Lori? I'm interested in that because I got all these baby clothes donations. Plus, I have an 8-year-old, so I've got clothes. I could sell them, but I haven't been on Kitizen yet. Foxy Roxy says, no sales at Goodwill until Sunday, and they're going to have dollar days here in Georgia. Oh my gosh. I'm so jealous of people with dollar days. I'm in Northern California. If you don't know, I'm about an hour north of San Francisco, and my Goodwills used to have 99-cent day on Sunday. So whatever colored tag of the week had been on sale would be 99 cents. So I would go in Sunday morning and I would get like 50, 60 items. It was so cheap. But they stopped doing it at the beginning of 2019, and they've never done it again. So I'm talking 0 sales. So I don't shop at Goodwill. Oh, Deb's here in Missouri, close to Branson. Ours are open. I also have not gone. I have plenty of inventory right now as well. That is so good to hear. Like, there are ways to get inventory. If you don't feel ready yet for whatever reasons, and we all have different circumstances, right? If you don't feel ready yet to go to the thrift store, there are so many ways to get inventory. If you found ways to get inventory, please leave it in the chat. There might be people watching the replay later, and I leave the chat up so they can take a look. I've gotten inventory for free donations from thredup, from Shop Goodwill. Did anyone get a Goodwill Bluebox today? Anyone? Is anyone interested or doing that? I love the Goodwill Bluebox. It's like 10 or 12 items from Goodwill Online. Mystery boxes. I've got some old ones that I've done in the past up on the channel, but now I can never get them. They're so cheap, and I've done okay with them, and I can never get one. I went on today. They went live at 3 o'clock my time, Pacific time, sold out by 3:20. If you don't get there, like I think right on time, did anyone get one, or has anyone bought a blue box before from Goodwill? What's your opinion? Seek Joy is here. Thank you for coming back. I love seeing you. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm doing some sell similars on eBay before I make dinner. Good idea. Gosh, I haven't sell similar. I'm trying to remember from I've been on eBay 8 years. I have not done sell similar because they made all the listing on eBay are now good till canceled. So it used to be after 30 days, you had to manually go on and relist it if you wanted. So I used to use sell similar, but how do you use it, Seek Joy? How do you use sell similar? Because I can't even remember. Deborah says reselling stale stuff. 100% agree with you. I am like blown away. I made a video about it today that I'll put up next week or something about my experiences deleting old stale listings and relisting them. I am selling so much. It is really exciting. Do any of you guys have you done any branding? Like, have you got a logo? How do you use it if you did get a logo? Why or why not have you got a logo? Does anybody do send out any cards like this? I know Tori does from Girly Girl Style because I bought something from her and it came so cute, like all wrapped up nice, and she had a card in there and I was like, wow, that is really nice. I don't normally do anything like that. Oh, Glynis is here. Hi, hope all is well with everybody. Good to see you. How are things with you? Remind me where in the country you are. How are things going with you? How are sales? What's happening? And Angela says, I'll be okay about going down to 3. You know, everybody is different. Like, some people see that as like, it depends what your situation is, right? Like, some people see it as like, oh, kind of a break and I can pivot to my other business, but it depends on your financial situation too. Like, if you can afford to go down to 3 days, we're all in such different situations. I try and remember that when I'm commenting on things like this. Vandy, I want to call it Melissa Vandy because it's Vandy's Closet. What is it, Melissa? Is that your last name, or how'd you get the name? I called you Vandy forever. That's what happens when we know each other by like our usernames. It's like, I love my logo too. It's like, I was a little nervous because you pay and you tell them on Fiverr if you have a logo, did you get it on Fiverr or some other way? Some people have they know a graphic designer, but I gave him all sorts of details, probably more details than he wanted. And then it took 48 hours. And I was really nervous. Like, what's he going to send back? Because there are certain kinds I like and certain kinds that I didn't want that particular style. So I was glad when I saw it, my first reaction was like, oh, I love it. So I was really happy with that. Pretty says Restyle Secrets. Lori says, I'm St. Louis born and raised. My grandparents lived on Table Rock Lake when I was little. Oh, that sounds so nice. What's the weather like right there now? Roxy says, I love the logo. Julie says, it's not slow here. Husband in IT. I'm in accounting. Neither of us have been off. Working at home, yes, but not off. Yeah, a lot of people have that situation where they're still working full time. It has not impacted their finances. They're just working from home. Like my partner Petey's doing that, where he's just working from home. And I think a lot of people have dreamed about being able to work from home, not have to go into the office. And I think a lot of people are learning whether they like that or not. It depends on your personality and what your work's like. Lisette says it looks beautiful. Quimby, thank you, Lisette. Everyone's saying hi. Oh, the Antique Boutique. James is here. Good to see you. We missed you last week. I handwrite thank you cards and give a business card. The card has my my web page. That is so smart. I do not do anything like that. Do you guys? I think it might be because my history is on eBay. I've been selling on eBay for it's going to be 9 years, you guys. Oh, so Victoria's here. Good. I'll check your comment in a sec. So coming from eBay, that was not the culture. I've bought on eBay for 9 years and I've sold, and I don't have any memories of anybody doing anything like that, wrapping things nicely, intentionally, gift wrap, little notes. Most of the time, for many years, it was just the clothing item put in the poly mailer, or not even a poly mailer, sometimes a manila envelope. And then I remember, I don't know, a few years ago, people started like putting things in plastic bags and stuff. But on eBay, that's not, people haven't done that historically. So for me, it was like, Poshmark was a really different thing when I'd buy things on there and I'd get them all nicely wrapped. I appreciate it. Like for when people do it, I'm like, that's nice. But I think as a buyer personally, and I trust everyone to figure this out for themselves. But for me, what I care about is, did I receive the item that I bought? Was it described accurately? Did it get here in a decent amount of time? That's where I'd want to put my energy. So a handwritten note, God, I don't know how many items I sell a month. I should go back and look, but I do about $2,500 in sales a month on eBay and Poshmark combined part-time. I just can't imagine writing notes to everybody. That's a lot of work. That's awesome that you do that. I don't do that. So I think I'll just shove my card in, but I did make this one with a spot in case I wanted to write a note. Like, I don't know, maybe if someone buys a bundle or sometimes someone will buy something like immediately and I want to tell them like, oh my gosh, I just listed this 20 minutes ago and you grabbed it. So it's an opportunity to write a note. That must take a long time though. Oh, so Victoria is here. I just print a half sheet of 8 by 11 with the logo. Shops and social media with a 20% off code. Ooh, that's smart. In my Etsy shop. And then right, you're awesome. Okay, so let me know in the comments, are other people doing that? Like, so you do some kind of incentive for them to come back and be a repeat customer by giving them a 20% off code. Is that specific to Etsy? I'm trying to think of how does that work? Do you guys do that? Am I like totally blind spot here? Like, how would they use the 20% off? So it has a certain code when you check out. Is that specific to Etsy? Wow, you guys, I'm feeling a little bit like, I don't do all this special stuff. I'm like, get that stuff out as fast as I can. Okay, Melissa, my last name is Vandridge. Am I saying that right? So I kind of took it from that. My last business was called Vandy Crafts, so I just stuck with it. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know why, I just like it. So I think that's a really good idea. Seek Joy says, I saw a shipping video from Mogi Beth today, and I like the simple way she ships. Okay, maybe I should check that out. Yeah, I mean, some people wrap in brown paper, some people do tissue paper, some put it in, I buy like these plastic inventory bags. And there's a whole nother level to it though, around like eco-friendly stuff. Like, oh, I'm using more plastic bags, but I don't know what to do differently. If you're doing something in your business, if you're trying to be like eco-compliant or sensitive, and not use a lot of plastic bags, how do you then store your inventory? Has somebody come up with a great way to do that? Because I store my inventory in bins, plastic bins, and I put as much in there as I possibly can, and they're in the bag so I can squish them all down. And then when I take them out, they're neat, they're folded, they're ready to go. But I do have an awareness that I'm wasting plastic bags. So have you guys come up with good things? What have you guys learned about that? And Victoria, when you say that you print out your logo, is that really expensive? Because like my printer, the ink cartridges for my printer, because I thought about doing that, and it's like, it's so expensive to buy ink and it feels like I go through it so quickly. So I try not to print very much. I have a Dymo where you just buy the labels, you don't have to buy ink. So I just fear like, are you spending a lot of money on ink, or have you figured something out around that? Now, Seek Joy, I'm super curious about the Mogi Beth. I'll go back and watch it, but the simple way she ships. What was it? Oh, Reseller Wendy's in the house. Let me get some water. I'd love to brand myself with a logo, but I can't even decide on a name. Ooh, this is good. Maybe we can help Wendy if she's open to it. I'm Lucky Lady 25 on Instagram and everything, but just created my YouTube as Reseller Wendy, but I think I just want to be the postal reseller. Oh gosh. Okay. If anybody, Wendy, are you open to like, I assume you are because you put the comment out publicly here, but are you open to like suggestions or feedback? Let me tell you a little bit about my experience with this. So I guess I want to say this. to Reseller Wendy. I can just share my experience and take or leave it if any of it's helpful or not. So I've been selling a long time. I never had, it took me until this long, Wendy, to come up with a name, like to decide and commit. Because I changed my name when I very first started on eBay. I was selling baby clothes. That's all I knew. And I was just selling my son's baby clothes to buy him new baby clothes. So I had like Sweet Pea Baby Clothes as my name. And then a couple years went by and I'm like, I'm selling mostly women's clothes now. So then I decided to work on the cute, like my name is Queen, so Queen Bee seemed perfect. So I did some stuff with that. It took me a little bit to come up with the Grateful Queen. It took me until I started a YouTube channel and got on Instagram. That was only this past year. I just had my 1 year YouTube anniversary when I put up my first video, and I wasn't taking it all that seriously in the beginning. I was just learning. So I think it takes a little while to find your name. I think you have to play around, and I don't know that I would invest in a logo and branding and paying until you think you found the one that's right for you. For me, it was important that it had some meaning. So I chose the Grateful Queen because gratitude is a huge value of mine, a life-changing practice. And I wanted something like that if I was going to go out in social media publicly. Have you guys, I'd love to hear what you guys, is anyone else saying anything about this? How'd you come up with your name? What suggestions do you have about coming up with a name or branding? When do you think it's good to invest in something like that? How long have you been selling? I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. Randy says, the website I have that I never did anything with at a wee bit one is Frugal and Frank. I forgot to mention. Okay, so you are, it sounds like you are, and I'd love to hear from other people, you guys, like, how'd you come up with your name? What's the name that you have? How'd you come up with it? What's important to you about the name? When do you think it's time to brand? It sounds to me like with Reseller Wendy, you haven't quite landed on your name yet. And one of the things I've done during stay at home, you guys, is finally be consistent across all platforms. So I'm the Grateful Queen on Instagram, Poshmark, eBay, and YouTube. And that is really helpful if you think you're going to put yourself out there. Because as you get a little bit more experience, you want people to be able to find you. And it is a little bit tricky, you guys, to find people. Like some of you, and I totally get why, because I was this person for the longest time. You have a different name on Instagram than you do on Poshmark, than you do on YouTube, and it's harder to find. So if you want people to be able to find you in your stores, or you in your channel, or you in your Instagram, if that matters to you, for some people it doesn't matter. But if that matters to you at all, I think it might be a good idea to get a little more consistent if you want to. It's just some thoughts. It feels really good for me. I guess I feel like, okay, I finally, and who knows, maybe it'll change. But for now, it's like, okay, I've settled on something. I've committed. I can do a little branding now that I have the name and the logo. For some reason, it makes me feel a little bit more like a real business. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I want to hear now, how'd you come up with your name? Like, Lara, you've got this great name, A Wee Bit Warm. How did you come up with that? Like, it's so perfect. Babette's here. Babette Sabol says, I think I need to change my name. I did Babs Boutique 55 since I started this at 55 years old. See, but I love that because it's your name and you have it has meaning and purpose. What makes you think you want to change it? You've got boutique in there, so it speaks a little bit to what you do. Like with mine, the Grateful Queen, it doesn't have anything in there about my business. It could be any business. That's why I tried to put like the hanger on there. So it's like, and I put online reseller as like a little sub. Sorry, it's hard for me the way this camera is, but like a little subheading or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm learning this myself. I know it took me a little while to do, but I'm really excited in having done it. And, it maybe cost me like my order to Vistaprint to get cards, and I got a little bit of merch. I know it sounds like funny, but so when you go to check out with your cards, they're like, hey, do you want a mug with your logo on it? Do you want a hat, a bag, a t-shirt? Like they offer you all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I feel silly, but it's kind of cool. I was like, maybe I do. So I got a couple bags. I think it was like $150 and I got like 1,000 of each card and a couple other things. So it was a little investment, not a huge investment. I don't know what I'm even going to do with them. I got a hat with my logo on it. I thought I'd wear it to the pool. Frugal and Frank, the new F words. Yes. Julie says, I used my most favorite late dog in my last name. Fantastic. See, I think it's good if it has a little meaning. Let's see what Tori says. I spent so much time doing thought mapping for all things that represent me. What is thought mapping? Like, do you have a marketing background or something like that? A business background? See, I don't have any of that, but that sounds really smart. It might be hard to type, but like, what is thought mapping? I'm going to guess that it's like, you're putting down your thoughts about it. You're brainstorming maybe like, oh, here's the things. Here's what's important to me. I was trying to think of how, what might be easy to find. Like some people who've messaged me on Instagram, they did a super long name. Like their YouTube channel has a really long name. That becomes a challenge because it doesn't fit as your Poshmark store name, and it doesn't fit as your Instagram handle. So there's a lot of different things to think about. And this is all, it's not necessary to whether you sell a lot or anything. It's just like another part of business. Okay, I got behind in the comments. Let's see. Tori chose something special to us for me, our anniversary date plus a thrifting caveat. I didn't know that. So is 324... are you talking about 324 Finds, your store bill? Is 324 your anniversary? Oh my God. See, I love meaning. I'm like a meaning junkie. Those of you who don't know my other job, I'm a psychotherapist and probably kind of come from an existentialist perspective, an attachment perspective, some other stuff. But for me, meaning is hugely important. I'm constantly looking for the meaning in things. And, the meaning we make has a lot to do with what we think, how we behave, our experiences in life, the meaning we make. And meaning is extremely important to me. So I love meaningful things. It's like when I'm giving young people that come to see me, I work with a lot of teens and they always want tattoos. And I'm like, meaning. Choose at least if you're going to do it. I love tattoos. Personally, I have many. Something that is meaningful to you. All right, do you guys know what I mean by that? Angela says, my red hair has always kind of defined me. So that's where I came up with Ginger Handpicked. I love that. But your username's Angela Winning, Ginger Handpicked. That's fantastic. See, I love this. It's so good. I agree, says Melissa. Branding the same across the board is much easier. I completely agree. And I'm new to this. Like I have not had this all figured out. I just had the opportunity to do this during stay at home where I'm like, this has been on my mind for a while. I've wanted to do some branding and I was grateful. I was different things all over. I was grateful Queen Bee some places and just Queen Bee others. And it was like, it was so much easier to change it. Sometimes that's hard to do because like on Poshmark, I'm Grateful Queen, not the Grateful Queen because of the number of letters they give you. So if here's what I want to say. I wish I had done it from the beginning the right way. It would have been so much easier. So if you're starting out or if you haven't done it yet, just do it. The sooner you do it, the better, the easier it is. If you ever think that you might grow your business, if you ever think that you might do a YouTube channel or you might want to do an Instagram following, get it set up now because for me, it was much harder to do it all this time later. Does that make sense? Reseller Wendy says, we born, I like that. I might have to consider that more now. Oh, the F word. Oh, I get it. Okay. And Laura started when she was 50. I love that. Roxy says, I did Instagram and Posh this week and will change it on YouTube when I start making videos again. So Roxy used to do all these awesome thredup videos. Like when she and I first found each other, I think I had just started a few thredup videos and she had done quite a bit. Are you going to start doing that again? But right now you're like in school focusing on nursing and everything. That's the most important thing. How's that going? James says, I shopped at the antique boutique in Manhattan when I was in college and grad school at Columbia. Loved it. I love that. I love these. I love when we get to know each other a little bit more, you guys. Like, I didn't know that you went to college and grad school. There's like often we know each other on Instagram or YouTube just as our reselling personalities, but there's so much more to everybody, and I love finding that out. I shopped at the antique boutique in Manhattan when I was in college and grad school. I loved it. They're out of business, so I stole the concept. Did you get your logo done? You had asked me about some of the logo graphic design stuff. Did you end up getting that done? Yeah, an antique boutique. That's a perfect name. Deb says, okay, so my name is Debbie. When my grandson learned to talk, he called me Dida. Oh my gosh, I know those. My daughter put on presents Dida, so I added la, so it's la Dida, spelled la Dida. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I think I've been saying it wrong. I always do that. Have I been? I don't know. La Didas. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my God, I have a mouse pad because of that. I'm such an... I think Melissa's talking about, okay, have you guys ever, I love her so much right now. We're going to do a video together. We're going to have fun. So if you've ever bought anything from Vista Print, which is where I got my cards and stuff, so you guys will know, like if you've ever got something from them. So you order like your 100 business cards, it's going to be $10. And then as you go to checkout, they're like, but would you like the same thing on a postcard for only $10? And I'm like, $10? They were charging like $40 for those postcards. Yes, I want it. Click. Like your order starts out at $30 and by the end it's $150 because they're like, they give you such a good deal as you're checking out. It's like brilliant. I got this huge box of stuff today. I didn't get the mouse pad. I almost got the mug. So you can get like everything with your logo on it. Suddenly cheap. Have you guys done any of this? And it's like, as I'm checking out, I'm saying to myself, what am I really going to do with a mug or a mouse pad? I don't know. It's kind of fun. So I ended up getting the hat that I'll wear to the pool. And I got some tote bags like that maybe I can use with my shipping. I don't know. And then I thought maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But I was like, I was trying not to be an impulse shopper because I'm usually not. I'm usually pretty thoughtful. Like I'll leave stuff in my cart and I'll think about it. But then I'm like, oh, I don't know why it feels so funny to have my logo on there and to buy all this stuff. It's like, I don't know. Laura says, the other half of my closet, my 30-year-old daughter, came up with a wee bit worn. Oh, she did. She's a digital marketing strategy guru. Whoa. I swear she could name lipsticks and nail polish for a living. I've always thought about that, like lipstick colors, or do you ever go to Home Depot, like you're going to paint something and you look at all the paint samples with the names and it's like the coolest names. And it's like, that's someone's job. Someone's job is to come up with these colors and names. So your daughter's really creative and she came up with that. It's like, it is really creative. She did a good job. Wait, I thought I just saw someone new that I didn't get to say hi to yet. Oh, here's Trisha. Just so you guys know, if you've ever done a live, there's a chat here that I can see, but it goes so fast and it's always shifting. So if I miss you, I really do apologize. Make sure to say something again or put it in caps, or make sure, because I really want to acknowledge and hear from everybody. Trisha M says, how many times can you change your name on Posh? I changed it once already and I still don't like my name. What's yours, Trisha? I don't know the answer to that. I know on eBay it was 3 times and I've already used it up. So my eBay store is still Queen Bee, but I can put the Grateful Queen at the top in a big letters. And on eBay, I don't think it matters as much. People don't tend to like go there and find you. It's just a different thing than Poshmark. Ooh, I see Barbara Babash. I'm so glad you made it. Where's my mom? Where's Babette? I hope she didn't forget. My sign, Laura, is I'm a Pisces. However, I've never really identified with Pisces. What's your signs? I have a Taurus moon. When I've had my astrology done, people are like, Pisces, Oh, but you've got a Taurus moon. So astrology is one of those things where the deeper you get and the more you know, all things matter. I got a blip, but hopefully it went away. Has anyone done the Enneagram? Oh, I love the Enneagram. Ooh, girly girl style. She's going to tell us what that thought mapping was. No, that's my term, thought mapping. Is that what you called it? I use that as a therapist. We're gonna do some thought mapping now. You're having some anxiety? Let's do some thought mapping. Literally just brainstorming all things that represent your brand. For 324 Find, we looked at how we connect our married life and thrifting. Oh my gosh, see, I love that so much. I support that 100%. I think that's a really good idea. I don't think I quite did it that systematically. I think I did it in my mind, but I really love that idea. And I believe in ideas like that. I'm a huge journaler and I do art journaling and all sorts of stuff like that. So I know that it really works. But I encourage you all to do that. Like if you haven't done something like that and it interests you at all, sit down with some paper, some colored pencils, and just like brainstorm and just put a bunch of stuff and see what you come up with. In fact, if anyone does that, if anyone hasn't done it and you're interested, I challenge you to do it this week and check back in about it on the live next Friday. Wouldn't it be so fun if like Wendy and some other people came back and they're like, oh, this is what I come up with? I would love to support anyone doing that. That is really good tip right there, Tori. I appreciate that. I just saw that one. Lily says, I'm She Wore Scarlet for reselling because I love the Grateful Dead. She wore scarlet begonias tucked into her curls. That is so good. That is really good. I love it. Absolutely love it. This is the best. I really love hearing your names. Did everybody chime in about it? Bill says, yeah, I don't want to see the mapping. Trust me, it's crazy town. I know. It's like when I do stuff like that, you can get all like Jackson Pollock and have it like all over. But in the end, it works. Like I've done it a lot with clients in different ways. And I do it for myself, like just to get a little more like personal and transparent. So during this whole stay at home, I've had like so many different feelings. I've had days where I'm like, hey, I like this. I've had days where I'm like, this is hard. I've had days where I felt overwhelmed, confused. But this week I had a bunch of anxiety come up. Anxiety just about how different things are right now for me with work. Anxiety because my son Torvald is 8 and he's out of school and I'm homeschooling and there'll probably be no summer camps. And we don't even know, hear this, we don't even know if he's going back to school in the fall. There's a lot of speculation. Many people here in California are saying, don't know if they're going back in the fall. I'm self-employed. I work for myself. How do I deal with an 8-year-old kid? You know, I've had some different anxiety. So I did a ton of journaling. And I swear it is a very useful tool to just sit and let all those thoughts out, let all those feelings out, and then look at it and then talk back to those thoughts. And then I always feel better afterwards. Every time. It's like, okay, these are the anxious thoughts. That's normal. It makes sense to be anxious right now, given what's going on in the world, given what's going on in your little nucleus, your home. It makes a lot of sense. Many of us are anxious right now. Of course you would be. And then to just kind of talk back to those thoughts and kind of reassure yourself, remind yourself of what's true, what the reality is, what's going on in the present moment. It is extremely helpful. So I love thought mapping. I love all that stuff. I love journaling. Really smart stuff. Wow, I just went off on a little tangent there. Let's go back to the comments, shall I? Ha ha ha. Reseller Wendy says, one reason I have to change my name on Poshmark is I keep telling myself I'm so close to hosting a party since it's been almost a year. Once I change it, they would take me off the waiting list. Ooh, I don't know about that. Some of you more experienced Poshers, like Lisette, might know. So you have to get on a wait list to host one of these parties? And if you change your name, why would it take you off the list? Because it doesn't change your closet. It doesn't change. I've changed my name on there. I don't know. Anyone else have any thoughts? Barbara Babash says, I just use my name as there's only one of my name in the world. That's true. That makes sense too. Are you on Instagram and all these other things? I think where it comes also into more play is like if you decide you're going to put yourself out there in some way on media, just in terms of people finding you. Yeah, but you could do any of that, Barbara Babash. That'd be fine. That would totally work. Roxy says, Stitch Fix videos and changed my closet and Instagram to Roxy's reruns. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Now so you won't be Foxy Roxy on these. You will be Roxy reruns. I love it. Cool. Yes, Vistaprint. You guys know what I'm talking about with all the like stuff you can buy. I friggin' love Melissa. Oh, excuse me. I love Melissa with the I have a mouse pad. I don't know why. I just thought it was the most charming moment there. I love that you guys are sharing your stuff. This is so cool. We have about 15 minutes left of the show. Are you joking me? We've been talking for 45 minutes. It is like a total blur. Note, I might, hold on, I'll get back to this, Lori, in a sec. I'm going to probably come on Saturday morning and do a live show to talk about thredup. There is so much going on for me right now with thredup. There's a lot of talk. I was like burning all week. Like I need to go on and talk about some of my thoughts about thredup. But there were so many other live shows and I never want to put one on when anyone else is on. So it's like I just couldn't find a time. I think I'm going to come on Saturday morning around 11 or 12. It's going to be a spontaneous live. Please come on and join me. I'd love to hear from you. I need to talk about some thredup stuff, but I want to do it separate than my regular Friday night because it's different. And I never want to miss this with you guys. So Lori was saying, mine, Seattle Gal Style. I moved to Seattle in 2008. I used Seattle Gal 08 for online usernames, then changed it to Style because it made more sense for selling clothes online. My biz, Instagram, Posh, and eBay match. I think that's super smart. I totally agree. That's awesome. I think you did the right thing. Lori Tate is here stopping real quick. I don't know if you're still here because I'm so behind on the chat. Hey, friends, just stopping in to say hello. Hi, Quemby, TGIF. I know. I'm going to post a picture tomorrow if I remember. Great to see you, Lori. I always love seeing you. Hope we get a chance to connect and do something together in some way soon. What was I just saying? I was saying, I don't know why. I lost it. Whoopsie. Oh, this goes so quick. I am super behind. Yay! Miss A Webb made it. Hi, y'all. Late to the party. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, and Molly's here. Hey, my closet is Midwest Best. That is very cool. One of the things we're talking about right now, Molly, is how we came up with our name, how we knew the name we wanted to use, how we came up with it, why. So tell us about yours. Glenna says, Grandma G, all I ever wanted to be was a mommy. Now I love being grandma. Oh my gosh, that's the best thing ever. Grandma G, you guys, this is the best. Victoria says, I'm loving all the names. Me too. I'm so enjoying this right now. I feel like I'm getting to know you all. And I love that so many of the names have meanings. Oh my gosh, I'm wicked behind in the chat. Oh, so anyways, yeah, I should probably finish up in like 10 minutes because that's where I was. Lori's going to go live in a little bit here. But, oh no, I fell all behind. We use overnight prints and it's so affordable. We get 500 business cards for 20 bucks. Ew. Overnight prints. I'm going to look that up. Vistaprint is affordable too, but not that affordable. That's awesome. Good tip. Girly Girl Style, seeing Seattle reminded me of C Fashion Guru. He hasn't made a video in a while. Have you heard from Steven? I need to reach out. He did one with Denali, but yeah, it was probably, I don't know, it could have been a few weeks, a month ago. I think a lot of people are pulling back a little bit right now from social media and other things because of everything that's going on in the world. So, oh, we doing our signs now? Scorpion. I bet you meant Scorpio. Lisette's a Gemini. Oh my gosh. I don't know a ton about astrology. I have studied some, but it is so vast. It's something that is a challenge, I think, to really learn about. But that makes sense. Aren't Geminis like super social? You're really good at connecting, Lisette. I appreciate that about you. Lily is a Pisces, Aries cusp, and Melissa's a Libra. Ooh, I've had a lot of really good Libra friends. It seems like the people I've been in like really intense friendships with or relationships have been Libras. Taurus for Roxy. And oh my gosh, and Tori's Aquarius. You are so like the little bit I know about astrology. When I think of Aquarius, I think of you. That is perfect. Oh, Mom is here. Mom, I'm wearing this shirt from you. Already left a message. Sorry if I missed your message, you guys. It goes really quick. This is a shirt I got. I think this was in my was it my birthday basket, my white basket. I wear a lot of white. My mom has the best, she's the best thrifter. She just finds the most amazing things. And I really think this is a pretty white lacy shirt. I love my white and ivory stuff. Julie is a Virgo, Libra, right on the edge. Oh, and Roxy says I journal when I'm stressed. Me too. I'm in my therapy office and I have an art area over here. I do a lot of art therapy with clients. And I wish I could show you. Maybe that's something I could do another time. But I journal when I'm anxious or stressed or there's something driving me crazy. I have to write. I just like spew it all out. But I try and do more art journaling for things that I'm thinking about, you know, like a big change or something in my identity, things like that. I do a lot of art journaling about, and it is very revealing stuff. I'm loving all the names we saw. I am like so excited about this. The Grateful Queen, I'm sorry you had that this week. This week was hard for us too. The uncertainty is hard. Wine helps. I agree. Like wine time at 5 o'clock at my house, it does help. I'm not a huge drinker, but I have my wine at night, and I didn't drink for over a decade at all because I was doing yoga and meditation and all this other stuff. And now I love the role that wine has in my life. And I live in Sonoma County, which is like the wine capital of the world. So we get really amazing wines very inexpensively, which I appreciate. And I really enjoy it now. Thank you. I think I just want to normalize it for myself and for other people that if you are having challenging feelings, yeah, that makes sense right now. It makes sense. It makes sense anytime, but especially now, if we didn't have our moments and our days, you know, there's going to be a whole range of feelings right now. I'm a mixed media artist and photographer too. Fine arts photography degree from way back, but I've always wanted to be an art therapist. I write and journal a lot. That's awesome. So I trained as a licensed marriage. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And so I'm not a registered art therapist, but I have a specialty area where I've done something called trauma-informed art therapy. So I work with a lot of trauma. People have been through trauma. I worked at hospice for a decade. And so I use art, but I can't call myself an art therapist, but I'm basically doing art therapy. And I do a lot of mixed media stuff. I know Tori, I don't know if she's still here, but she did a show. Didn't you, Tori, like resellers and like their creative projects? I would be interested in something like that. I would love that. Yep. And then I read entries from the past and I see how I got through it. Yeah, that's brave. Like sometimes I don't even read them. It's like, or I read it and I'm like, man, you're crazy, Quimby. Lisette says, I always journal. I used to write short stories and poems in high school. Oh my gosh, if I saw the poems I wrote in high school, it'd be like agony. High school was not easy. Julie says, oh my God, trying to keep my 15-year-old on track has been a nightmare. Thank you for saying that. Like, I think we're all supposed to think we're at home, homeschooling, and it's like kumbaya moments, but the people that I talk to, honestly, the moms are like, you've got to be kidding me. This is I'm back. I wonder if I lost everybody. Where was I? Yes, Julie. trying to keep my 15-year-old on track has been a nightmare. I'm not sure on school, but geez, there's a reason I'm not a teacher. I know. I mean, my son's only 8, so I don't think the academics are as important. I could go on that tangent for a long time, but I have moments of being like, wow, this is so beautiful. I'm teaching my son to read. Yay. And then I have most of the time where I'm like, I'm going to pull my hair out. I'm not a teacher. Like, this is hard. I want to make all the platforms the same. I think that's a really good idea. That's right. I'm here. Remember, I'm hosting the kids party. Everybody on Poshmark, go over to the kids party that Lisette is hosting, share some stuff, participate. I'll go over after this and take a look. James says, I love Vistaprint. We're coming into our last few moments of the show. I cannot believe it. It goes wicked fast. I'm going to try and come on tomorrow if any of you are around 11 or 12 to just talk ThreduP live show. It's easier live because then I don't have to edit it, and maybe some people will show up. I've never done a Saturday show. I don't know if that's the best time, but there's just some stuff I really feel like I need to talk about. It's like bubbling up. I'm like, I need to talk about it, about ThreduP stuff. Drinking is the best. I love it now. Wow, I'm really behind. Angela says, I totally unloaded on my poor boyfriend over the phone the other day. I was a blubbering mess and just broke down. Emotional roller coaster. Thank you so much for sharing that. Gosh, I always feel like a relief when someone else shares like, yeah, I'm struggling too. Okay. Everyone's saying hi to Lori. We'll pop over to you. Is it on you? It's on hers or Denali's on El Ducho in just a bit. So we'll definitely pop over there. For me, choosing to stay positive and stay grateful is a practice. It's a daily practice. It's an hourly moment-to-moment practice. I do my best to bring things back to, for me, being grateful works better for me than being positive, just because of certain connotations with the idea of being positive. Whatever works for you, it's just language. But for me, it's a practice that I come back to. That does not mean there is not room for all the hard feelings, for the pain, the anxiety, the sadness, the jealousy moment, times of depression. There's room for all that too. You have to feel those things. There is no way around. You have to go through those feelings. You can't deny those feelings. You just can't. It doesn't work. They always come back up in your body or in your mind or in some way. I know that from being a therapist for over a decade and from my own life experience. And I talk about this a lot with people because it's what I'm most interested in. And then for me, there's a practice to choose. There's a practice to choose to come back to, okay, I felt these things, they're there. And my intention is to come back to being in a positive space, to put my mind in a good neighborhood, to be grateful for all the other things, including the hard stuff. So, yeah. Oh, look at a super chat from my friend Lisette. Or Torvald. Good night, everyone. Good night, Lisette. I don't know how to get it up on the screen. It's not coming in, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's fantastic. And Julie has given a $20 super chat. That is so generous. Thank you so much. I hope somebody will teach me how to give other people super chats when I go on because I want to spread it around. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That is fantastic. Angela says, Angela winning. I totally broke down last week. It'll all work itself out. Oh, good. Thank you, Bill, for giving support to other people who are feeling the challenge. The Antique Boutique. I'm gay. I was going to take the Grateful Queen, but it was already taken. You can use it too. I'm sure we could. Make sure to put your closets in the chat, please. I will do my best to find you on Poshmark in the coming week and share some things or anything else you want to promote. Definitely leave it in the chat. That's okay here. Miss A Webb is just a name, Amanda Webb. When I was making a name, I wanted this, and some friends said, you'll be married soon and change it. Well, married, and I'm still Amanda Webb. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to Lisette, who's reminding us, please hit the thumbs up, everybody. That helps with some sort of things, I think. Oh, and she's an Aries. Fantastic. Oh, Laura says, Quimby, what's your master's in? I have a master's in clinical psychology. And then I trained and did my internship on marriage and family therapy. That's just the name of it here in California. I can do therapy with anybody in the state of California, but the license is called marriage and family therapist. My mom, Grateful Babette, says, thank you. I knew that shirt looked familiar on you. So beautiful. I do love this shirt. And I don't even know what the brand is, but you're really good at finding things that the style's great, regardless of brand. Lori Richardson's a Capricorn, but do not fit in it whatsoever. Hubby is 100% Scorpio. I just think Scorpios are kind of like intense. Angela Winning is a Virgo Libra too. I don't know why I'm like super attracted to Libras. What's the other one? Virgos and Libras have been like my significant people in my life. Glennis is an Aquarius. Are you super social? And Sarah Lee, like me, is a Pisces. That's awesome, you guys. So please make sure to put in, there's from New England Betty Boop. Thank you so much. Molly, can I get a shout out? My closet is Midwest Best. So if you happen to be in the chat and you see this, please be sure to share the closet. Go in there, say hi to Molly, and share her closet stuff. Wendy says, thank you for your live chats. You're so inclusive and truly seem to want to know about everybody. I can't, for better or worse, I'm the most curious-minded person. I'm introverted, so I do better like one-on-one with people, like in a conversation at a party, but I'm deeply interested in other people. We're all so fascinating and interesting, flaws and all, and imperfect. And I just love hearing about people, especially people that are willing to like share a little bit about themselves, like not just talk about the weather, but really talk. I am so down for that. I definitely need a midweek show. I wonder when a good time is. There are so many other shows too now. When I first started this, there weren't many at all, and now there's a lot. So, oh, look at this, what Julie says. So I would love to find a time to do another one because it seems hard to wait until Friday, especially right now. Julie says, we have foster services at our nonprofit. Unfortunately, they use a lot of trauma therapy. Thank you. You are welcome. It is a calling for me for sure. So friends, thank you so much for joining me for another Live at 5. I will be here next Friday. I'll try and be here on Saturday at some point to do kind of a live thredup talking show. I'd love to see any of you. We can talk about whatever, but that's probably what I'm going to focus tomorrow's on. And thank you so much for joining. I hope to see you next week. Be sure to leave your closets in the chat so we can share. Bye, guys. Have a good night.